wanted to show is this little settings bar right here. Can you see that popped up, the settings?
Yep.
Okay, that settings little wheel was not there before. This lets you edit as much as you'd like from your activity window, which is very, very cool, because I've noticed that I've been getting some notifications from channels that I don't actually want on there, and some that I do. So this, you can make it a little bit more specific to you. So I just wanted to share that one just so that you have another way to make it even more helpful to you while you're using it.
This is important because it's really for people that are trying to maximize their effort and attention,
Yes.
right? So what I mean by that is you might be in groups and conversations and things that may be larger that really don't have as much bearing on you, but you would want to be able to be involved in those if you feel some of the times are appropriate. So you can just basically turn some of those features and channel notifications off. And what's nice about it too is if they do @ and then they mention your name, it will push through that notification and hit you directly. So you might be a major player in the company, right? You might be a C-level person, and you may be in a few channels where you don't want to always hear or see the communication actively, but you want to be a member of that channel.
Right.
But if they want your input and they want to pull you back into that just from a directional perspective, they could say, @ Bobby Guerra, and then it goes boop, and it says, hey, you were mentioned specifically in this, and that notification is also a setting that you can change in there.
Yeah.
And it will then direct you to kind of go and see what that communication was about. And then you look at it, you might reply to it, and then after that, you just move on. And then the continued communication that happens, you won't get any further notifications about it. But it might be a channel that's super important, and you want to know about everything. It could be, event that's coming up that you're planning on, and you guys have to have almost real-time communication that's happening. Then, of course, you would want that notification to be set, and that's where you can change those, which is super helpful to have that kind of flexibility.
Yes, for sure. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was, I'm not going to get too in-depth into the first part of joining a meeting, because we do talk about that in previous videos. If you go to our first ever Teams video on our website, you can go to that at axiom.tech/news/, and that will take you to all of our videos and stuff like that. But something that they have changed, which is huge, is the way that you join a meeting. If you don't have Teams already installed on your computer or your phone, you now have the option to click on the join meeting button and use your browser to join the meeting. So you don't have to download Teams if you don't want to, or install it on your phone. Now, for you guys who are probably the attendees in this meeting, you want to have Teams, because you'll probably, if you're listening to this, you're going to want to use it more than that. But for the people who are outside of your organization, who you're inviting to meetings, and they say to you, okay, is this going to be hard? Do I have to download an app? And then do I have to take 15 minutes to download this app and then make myself, create a sign in and all that stuff? It's like, no, just click on this link. It'll take you right to the meeting without having to download anything. It just uses your browser and you can start the meeting, which is really, really helpful for people who especially aren't tech savvy or don't want anything to do with Teams, but you still want them to be in a meeting with you and you use Teams. So that's really, really helpful. And they have, with the recent update, made that even easier to use. They have had it before, and we do talk about it a little bit, but they make that even easier.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend doing that and having people use that when you send them a join meeting link. And it will ask them, when they click on the link, it will say, do you want to download the app? Do you want to open your app if you already have it? Or would you like to use the browser? And then you just tell them to click on the browser and it will take them right there.
And to kind of add on to that, I would say when we first did our Zoom versus Teams, Zoom was fairly ahead from a guest login ease of use perspective. So if you had people that were coming in that weren't part of your organization, Zoom was easier to get everybody, all the cats herded into the meeting, right? That was easier. But Teams has said, yeah, we better put a shutdown to that. So they've now started really stepping their game up, and it's gotten almost as good as Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite there, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Here's where I think if you do this one thing, they'll be even. All you have to do is do it yourself once.
Yes.
Set up a Zoom Teams meeting as a guest. So invite yourself, not from your computer, like, have a personal laptop or some device that isn't corporate owned or joined, and then set up just a fake meeting between yourself to your personal self. So if you have a Gmail or something like that, do it. Invite yourself and see what it looks like. Try to join it from your phone and try to join it from your laptop, and you'll see the various different options you have. Take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of that. And then when you go to send that invite out to people, attach those screenshots.
Yeah.
And it is super helpful to those guests that are coming. It's a screenshot. You could have a little highlight that says, pick this option for simple join. And as you send the invite, and they look at that and go, oh, and then they get the link, and like,
so
oh,
easy.
that's it. And you just help them. That one little step just really puts it over the top. And the way that you do that is you can go ahead inside Outlook and schedule it straight from there, the team session. And I'll show, and we've covered this before, but I think it's worth just for continuity purposes to show it to everybody. But so let me click on this here. Okay. So here I have a meeting, and and this is my Outlook, and here's what I did. Get out of the way. I'm not doing that. Okay, there we go. All right, so I clicked on my little Outlook calendar here, right? And then you can just say, you know what, I want to do a new Teams meeting. Now it's important to realize when I do this new Teams meeting section here, if you look, see, it said, I'm pointing like you can see what I'm pointing at. Let me point with my mouse. It's just a link. It's just a web link. There's
it really
nothing magical about this. You could literally right-click and say, copy hyperlink and put it in your own email if you want. Once you've created it, you can forward that link on to as many people you want. It's not like some physical entity that you have to do. It's just a link that takes you to Microsoft's listener that redirects it and handles it all. So it's pretty simple. So then you would just put the people that you want to join in here, and then you can go ahead and put context in it, right? That you would do, like, you would paste your picture that you want to do in here and say, here's how you would join it, click the link below. And that's how you do it. And it's just really nice. Now, if you're inviting people that are inside your organization, then you don't need to do that. But only if you're doing external people. And if it's people that are already inside your organization, to say, look, buddy, let me show you how this works. For lunch, take me to lunch, and I'll show you how to do Teams meetings so you don't look silly in the group. And that's how you get a lot of free lunches too.
That's true.